They used to call me the kid who cleans up after real engineers, and at the time I laughed along because laughing was cheaper than arguing and safer than telling the truth. Truth was, I'd already rebuilt my first engine before I was old enough to drive, and every time I wiped grease off a floor, I was memorizing how the machines above me were failing. Funny thing is, nobody ever notices what you see when they think you don't matter, and that's exactly where this story starts. My name is Lena Carter, and for a long time the smartest thing I did was stay quiet. My mom worked nights at a logistics plant outside Dayton, Ohio, the kind of place where forklifts never stop beeping, and nobody asks what you're thinking, only whether the job's done. I used to wait for her in the break room after school, sitting between vending machines that swallowed dollar bills and old posters about workplace safety. I brought notebooks, not homework notebooks, the other kind, the ones filled with sketches of engines, airflow patterns, and fixes nobody asked for. I didn't dream about being famous or rich. I just wanted things to work the way they were supposed to. You know what I mean? One afternoon, everything cracked. The plant's CEO, Richard Hale, was touring the facility with investors' suits everywhere. Polished shoes on concrete floors that had never been polished a day in their lives. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, staring at a prototype generator that had been overheating for weeks. I said it out loud without thinking. Something like, "That cooling loops backwards, no wonder it's choking itself." I didn't raise my voice, I didn't mean to interrupt, but silence hit the room, like someone pulled a plug. Hale turned slowly, smiling the way people do when they're about to make a point at someone else's expense. He looked at me then, at my grease-stained hoodie, then back at the generator. "And who exactly are you?" he asked. I told him. He chuckled, glanced at the investors, and said, "Well, Lena here thinks she knows more than our engineering team." Laughter followed, polite and sharp. Then he did it. He dared me. Said if I could fix the generator in 1 week, he'd fund my education anywhere I wanted. If not, I'd apologize publicly for wasting everyone's time. A trap dressed up as generosity. Yeah, that happened. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because I was scared, but because I was angry in a clean, focused way. I'd been underestimated my whole life, and usually I let it slide. But this time the door was open, even if it was meant to slam shut on me. I took it as permission. Permission to stop shrinking. The next few days blurred together. I worked after hours alone, listening to the hum of machines that sounded like they were breathing wrong. The deeper I looked, the clearer it became. The generator wasn't just poorly designed, it was sabotaged. Sensors rerouted limits hard-coded into the software failures disguised as incompetence. Someone wanted it broken. That realization changed everything. This wasn't about proving I was smart, this was about exposing a lie. I wasn't alone for long. A senior technician named Mark Alvarez noticed the access logs noticed me. Instead of reporting me, he watched. Then he asked questions. Real ones. We talked in half-sentences and schematics, the language of people who love solving problems more than playing politics. Mark had been sidelined for years. Too honest, not loud enough. Together, we rebuilt the system piece by piece, correcting what had been twisted on purpose. Every fix felt like untying a knot someone else hoped would never come loose. By day 6, the generator was ready. Stable, efficient, clean. It ran better than the original specs promised. I stood there staring at it, heart-pounding, knowing the hard part wasn't over. Making something work is one thing. Letting the world see it is another. The presentation day arrived, and Hale was in full performance mode, talking about innovation and leadership, smiling like nothing could touch him. When it was my turn, he expected me to fold. I didn't. I powered the generator up. The room filled with a steady, confident sound, the kind engineers love because it means nothing's about to explode. Data screens lit up numbers climbing where they were supposed to. Silence again, but this time it tasted different. Hale tried to spin it, said it was a team effort, implied the company had planned it all along. That's when I spoke. Calm, clear, not angry. I explained the sabotage, the code the hardware changes. I named dates, I showed backups. Mark backed me up. So did the data. You could feel the air-shift investors leaning forward, realizing they'd been sold smoke for years. Security arrived, but not for me. Regulators followed. Investigations opened. Hale's smile vanished, replaced by something smaller. Fear, maybe, or disbelief that someone he'd dismissed could unravel everything. I didn't enjoy watching him fall. I enjoyed watching the truth stand up. After that, things moved fast. Offers came in schools, labs, startups. I took my time. The point wasn't to escape where I came from. It was to make sure the next kid in a hoodie didn't have to wait for a dare to be seen. I started a small engineering lab focused on practical systems, affordable energy training people who'd been overlooked. Mark joined me. So did others who'd been quiet for too long. Here's the part people argue about. Some say I should have stayed quiet, taken the scholarship, let the system work. Others say Hale deserved worse. I don't know. What I do know is this talent doesn't look the way we expect, and power hates being questioned by someone it thought was harmless. If you've ever been underestimated, ignored, laughed at for knowing something others didn't want to hear, this story isn't just mine. Drop your thoughts below. Was I right to speak up, or should I have played along? And how many people do you think are still cleaning floors while holding answers? Nobody's asking for.